And then once I've done all of that, I come back to my spreadsheet and I start with column F, which is latitude, and I copy the data from there over through the notes column, and I create a new spreadsheet. And I just paste into that the data that I copied from my first spreadsheet, and then I have to clean this up. This spreadsheet is going to be to import into Google Maps. So there are some things that will break Google Maps, and those are these empty cells here, places where I have allowed for extra nights at a particular destination. So I'm just going to go through and select all of these empty rows, these rows that don't have latitude and longitude and a name. Those are the critical pieces of information. And I'm going to delete those. All right, it's not allowing me. That Excel would have allowed me to do that, but Plan Maker does not. So I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. And now I want to save this and name it something that's going to make sense. So I'm going to name it the same as my main spreadsheet, but I'm going to append Google to it. And now I'm going to go to Google Maps. So I'm in saved. Let me go back to the Google page. So here I am at Google, and I'm going to go to Maps, and I'm going to click on Saved in the sidebar, and then Maps. And now I've got a bunch of maps that I've created for other things. But I want to create a map. So right here at the bottom is Create Map. So I'm going to click on that, and it brings me into Google Maps. And it's opened up a map of North America, and it gives me some choices. I can title it, which I will, but first off, I'm going to import my data. So I click on Import, and I'm going to browse, and there's my Google spreadsheet. So I'll open that, and it asks me a couple of questions. First, the columns to position your place marks. It's pre-chosen latitude and longitude because that's usually what it looks for, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to click on Continue, and now it asks me to choose a column to title my markers, and I'm going to choose Name for that. Name is the name of the specific campground or camping opportunity. It's a specific camp destination. Now I'm going to click on Finish, and it digests that information, and there it's populated the map with these markers. And I have the opportunity here to make those markers different colors based on a range of different itinerary. I could choose showers or no showers, for example. But usually what I do is I choose jurisdiction type, and I just ordinarily I just let it choose the colors it wants. I can choose other colors if I want to, but now it's um, it's colored each of these place markers according to whether it's a Forest Service or a national park or um, Army Corps of Engineers or whatever. Um, so I can see here that I've got 6 Forest Service campgrounds, 5 Corps of Engineers, 3 National Park Service, 1 Bureau of Land Management, 1 city or town park, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to title this. I'm going to call it Southeast Arizona 2024. And I could add a description. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that right now, but if I was going to share this with somebody else, I would probably include a description to give a little more information about what exactly this map was intended to what information it was intended to convey. I'm going to just save it with my new title and no description. And so now if I go back to Google Maps and I refresh, now my map is at the top of the list. I'm going to click on that and I see the same thing, but it looks a little different. And I have the choice to open it in My Maps, which is where I just was. This is My Maps, and this is Saved Maps. So this is what you would see ordinarily if you just navigated to a saved map on your browser, or it would be very similar on your phone. And if I click on any one of these, let's choose this one right here. This gives me all of the information in my spreadsheet that I have for that particular campground. And in this case, every column except one had some information. The only thing that I don't have is a general location, which I really don't care that much about. But a lot of times, especially for dispersed camping areas, there will be no information under water, certainly electric, usually dump, showers almost always. Laundry is unusual. Army Corps of Engineers campgrounds frequently have a laundry. They're usually the only places that do. There are some exceptions, especially there was one Forest Service campground that we have stayed at a couple of times down in Florida that has laundry facilities. In fact, there might be a few down there, but that's the exception rather than the rule with Forest Service. But they're fairly common in Corps of Engineers campgrounds. So there is a laundry at this particular place. The season is April 1st to October 30th, so it's available during the window that we're planning on traveling. The limit is 65 feet, which is no problem for us. There's water and electric, and it's the rates, according to my information, are $20 a night, sticker price, $10 a night for us with our pass for a standard campsite, or 24 and 12 for a premium campsite. And again, those fees are they may be out of date, but they're usually within a couple of dollars, even if they're not. Right. So there we have the whole process. The developing the map between the spreadsheet and Topo North America, and then importing the data from the spreadsheet into Google Maps. So it would be possible to do the same thing using Google Maps as the starting point. Not nearly as convenient, but you can certainly do it. So Google Maps is really a powerful tool, and I like it a lot. The one thing that I don't care for about it is that these place markers don't have any kind of an identification other than the color coding, which I can check against the key to find out what jurisdiction a particular color map point represents. But that just tells me whether it's Corps of Engineers or Forest Service or whatever. It doesn't tell me anything about what particular facility it's in, or what the name of the campground is, what it's going to cost. In Topo North America, my I can put any information I want in my map tags, and usually I have the name of the place, the jurisdiction. Here's one: Camp Run NFS, which is National Forest Service, CG, which is campground, and in parentheses, free. So I know right away that it's a Forest Service campground and that there's no fee for it. I also know because of what's not there that there are no showers, because if there are showers, I include that information. So let me back out and go back up to Elizabeth Furnace, because I know that I do have it there. I think I've got a couple of different map tags for Elizabeth Furnace, and I think one of them, yes, there it is right there. So I do have two map tags here. I'm going to get rid of one of them. So that's under Manage Draw, Delete Draw Object. Because there are two there, it asks me which one I want to get rid of, and I'm going to get rid of the top one. And now you can see my map tag says Elizabeth Furnace, NFS, National Forest Service, CG Campground. And in parentheses, there's a $sign, which tells me that there's a fee for it, and showers. So I know at a glance that what the name of the place is, and what the jurisdiction is, whether there's a fee, and whether there are showers. None of that information is available by looking at the Google map, unless I go site by site and pull up the information in the sidebar. So it's there. It's just not nearly as convenient. It's not available at a glance. So it's a pretty good substitute, but it's unfortunate that that DeLorme Topo North America is no longer available. DeLorme got bought out by Garmin, and they ceased most of the brand-specific DeLorme products that were competing with their own products. So this went away. Another thing that I can do in Topo North America that I can't really do, I can do it, but it's a little more challenging. I can export each of these draw files. If I go back to the draw tab, I can select any one of these draw files and export it, and it will export it as a CSV file, a plain text file that includes just the latitude, longitude, and the data in my map tag for that particular place. So that gives me a file that I can have on my phone that that's specific to this trip. So I have the itinerary for a particular trip, which is a relatively short list of places, plus maybe a few alternatives that I can look through fairly quickly to find the place we're going to on a given night. And I have especially the latitude and longitude. The map marker information is mostly there. It's mostly useful as an identifier to help me pick out exactly which place I want to program into my GPS. But the latitude and longitude I can program into the GPS, and it'll take me right there. I have to be a little careful because our Garmin especially has taken us on some pretty sketchy routes that when we got close to a fairly remote camping area. But usually if there are roads in the area, it'll take you on a relatively practical route to your destination. And so it gives me the opportunity to either program it into my Garmin or into Google Maps on my phone, and I usually have it in Google Maps. So I have the map, so I can just click on a map point in my saved map and choose take me there, and it'll drive me right there. And I find that my phone is more reliable because Google is constantly updating their data. So the Garmin that I have, the route information is a little out of date, and I could update it. I don't. Google is constantly updating for me, so I don't need to worry about that. So having both is handy because I have my Garmin on the dash, and it gives me information that my phone will give me, but it's not necessarily as convenient. But in the event that the Garmin wants to send me down some goat path, I have it on my phone. I can just look at that to find an alternate route. And frequently I look at the routes that are being suggested by both of them. And if there's a difference between the two of them, I can choose the one that I want to pay attention to. And most of the time I'll opt for the phone route. And once I've started down that route, the Garmin updates and it gets into sync with my phone, and we're fine for the rest of the trip until they disagree again. All right, so that's my process, and I hope that's been valuable. That was a fairly lengthy walkthrough, but thank you very much for watching, and I hope you found some of this information valuable. If you have questions, please ask in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer. If you got some value out of this, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be posting more videos, either of frugal but fun experiences or about techniques to travel enjoyably on a budget. See you next time. Thanks again.